Hello and welcome to yet another episode of Spirituality at Work. Our guest today is Swami Parthasarathy and we're sitting at the Vedanta ashram just outside the city of Pune. We've traveled about an hour and a half for this interesting discussion that's going to follow, and the Swamiji is going to tell us today how spirituality and the workplace, is it a twain that can meet or they cannot meet. Let me begin by asking you, the other day I was in Mumbai driving down Chowpatty and I saw a hoarding of yours which said that fall asleep in 20 seconds or hit the pillow in 20 seconds. How does it work? I mean, is it as simple as that?
See, actually what is happening is the mind is disturbed very much. So that carries through your night, that most professionals, businessmen, even housewives are not able to sleep because they come to me and I know, and others are not telling us, that's about all. So if you can't sleep properly, it's not worth living this life. So how to find yourself free from these mental agitations? So the mind is that which is constantly disturbing you. See, in layman's term, it's just selfishness. So what we are teaching here in this institution is how to develop a intellect which is strong enough to hold the mind. And you don't strangle the mind, you don't stifle the mind, but you police the mind, direct the mind. It's like a child in the house. If the child is not controlled, it is pandemonium in the house.
Can you give us some instances of how you were to police one's mind? And I guess somewhere it's control and not denial. I mean, it's the
See, I'll tell you in a nutshell what happens is, okay, the mind has strong likes and dislikes, right? Now you collect the likes and dislikes from early childhood. So at this moment, you're just a bundle of likes and dislikes. You may say, so what? No, it is the likes and dislikes that are operating in your life. So you are doing what you like to do and you're avoiding what you don't like. What you like to do is detrimental in the long run. What you dislike to do is beneficial to you. Now don't ask me why. This is nature. This is how life is built. See, for example, you will like to laze in bed. You don't like to exercise. You like to eat junk food. You don't like to eat the right type of food. You like to amass wealth. You don't like to share. Now all these are detrimental. You understand? So if what you like becomes beneficial to you and what you dislike is detrimental to you, you don't need a scripture, you don't need a preceptor, you don't need any guidance. Everybody will be, this will be a heaven on earth. There is no necessity for any hard work provided you paid the premium from the very beginning. A little work, a little study. So life becomes miserable if you operate on likes and dislikes. See, besides likes and dislikes, the mind is all the time, it has a tendency to slip into the past or the future. It's never stationary. This is the nature of everybody's mind, including my mind. When I say my mind, I've been at it for 60 years. Now, the nature of the mind is to slip into the past or the future, and that saps your energy. You're all the time worried about what happened in the past, are anxious about what's going to happen in the future. When the mind keeps fluctuating all the time, you are not in the present. If you are not in the present, you are not concentrating. Your mind must back your action. But the mind constantly slips into the past and future, and therefore there is no concentrated activity by anybody. This is the problem. Not only that, when the mind slips, you get fatigued. Now, take the life of children, the tiny tots. They are full of enthusiasm, full of activity. You are 20, 30 times stronger than the child. You get fatigued, child never gets fatigued. The child has no worries of the past, no anxiety of the future. and therefore it is peaceful relatively and happy, and where there is your fatigue, and that's why you need weekends and vacations. So here you are, likes and dislikes the mind cultivates, then you promote it, then it slips constantly to past or future. The third thing is the mind develops desires, it generates desires constantly, and desires are endless, and you can never find satiation by fulfilling your desires. The moment you fulfill your desires, it breeds more, and these unfulfilled desires cause you agitations. You should have a perfect control over the mind's cultivating these desires or developing these desires. Another one is the mind has a tendency to get attached to anything. The moment it comes in contact with anything, it gets disattached. So whenever you are attached to anything, you suffer. This is a law. I can't change it, you can't change it. People are attached to wealth, attached to the family, attached to name or fame. Whatever they do, attached to their children, it's deadly. You're attached. Attachment is the opposite of love. When love becomes selfish, it becomes attachment.
Some of the aspects that you mentioned, I mean, you talked about attachment, you talked about the ability to concentrate. Now, I mean, as an organization worker, I'm needed to concentrate at the same time I need to have desires because I need to, let's say, perform towards a certain target or a certain objective. How do I marry all this?
See, if you examine the lives of persons, it is a mechanical routine life. This is herd instinct. Most people are following the herd. I ask you, you went to school. Why did you go to school? Your answer is, my father went, my uncle went, my brother went, I went. Then you went to university. Why did you go to university? You'll say, Swami, what a question, because my father went, uncle went, brother went. Then what did you do? You got a degree. Why did you get a degree? Everybody gets a degree. Then what did you? Found a job. Why did you get a job? No, what else one does? You get a job. Then what did you? Get married. Why did you get married? I tell you, there are 6 reasons why anybody in the world gets married. And I can't think of 6 persons in the world who knows it. There's 6 reasons. If you don't have those reasons, you don't need marriage. But nobody knows what the reasons are. You just plunge into marriage because your uncle married, our brother married. So this is herd instinct.